What's going on, Boulder, Colorado?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of disrespectful, too.
Yes, it's pretty disrespectful the way some things went down in that Arizona game. Now, with all the respect for Brennan that Coach Prime has, he felt slighted. We're going to talk about that disrespect, how it came across. We're also going to talk about Stephen A. Smith and what he said not too long ago on First Take. Paul Feinbaum had to agree once again, and we're going to wrap it up this show with a recruit that's pulling up this weekend against Cincinnati for his second visit. This will be a commit for USC. So let's dive into all of that here on the Prime Time for College Football. This video is powered by our partners over at BetUS. Check them out. They are hooking up the gamer, 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. Man, Colorado pulled out the major dub, 5-2, 34-7, beating Arizona on the road, which was huge. But to start that game, someone actually pointed this out in the comment section, and I love that some of you are noticing some of the nuances of the game or just little things that happen that really should get your attention. And watching it, I'm like, okay, I see what you mean. And what happened was at the beginning, Arizona started the game off with an onside kick. I know a lot of you noticed it, but you probably didn't pay attention to it too much. But that's one of those psychological games that coaches play against others. And in a slight disrespectful way, it was, I don't think you're going to be prepared for this type of scenario. Obviously, Colorado went down, scored, and Coach Prime had something to say about that as well because we had a simpler mindset. Let's roll the tape.
Coach, I want to ask about the onside kick that they did to start the
Yeah.
game. Is that kind of the focus you're talking about where you guys don't panic in that moment and then you make them pay for it with a touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of disrespectful, too. You know, to start it off like that, it's like we're going to get an onside kick because you're thinking that we're not prepared. We prepare for a lot of situational football throughout the week, especially on Friday. So hats off to the special teams and the guys up front. We put guys up there that are athletes so they could recover onside kicks or whatever may happen, and that was a surprise. And we're happy that we got it, go right down and score.
And practicing those little nuanced things are critical for your team to see success. You got to know that the opposition is going to come at you with all kinds of crazy stuff. And the way that this team is preparing, they're doing everything they're supposed to prepare for that kind of stuff. And I love that Coach Prime pointed that out. I love that the question came first from the media. It was a great question to really get Prime's mind on it. And that tells you Coach Prime, they're not playing. Like everybody, all the haters and the naysayers out there are really saying that Colorado, they don't take the team seriously. We know the national talking heads was like that initially, but they've started to turn around as well. They were coming at Prime and not really getting it. And we'll touch on Stephen A. Smith and Paul Feinbaum in just a minute. But Prime proving to everybody, look, I take this job seriously. I take coaching seriously. I want to be successful here, and we're seeing that. This team's 5-2, best start since 2016. Don't worry, I got a video ready to compare the stats on that. We'll drop that tomorrow and really talk through what things look like in comparison from 2016 to this year. And it's kind of shocking, the numbers, because remember, that 2016 team went to the Pac-12 championship game. And so now the question is, can this Colorado team go to the Big 12 championship game and win it? And so Prime preparing for Arizona, it reminds me of like Belichickian, right? Because Belichick always prepares for the most odd scenarios. Prime did the same thing, which you got to give him props for. Let's also dive into what was said on First Take. Stephen A. Smith and Paul Feinbaum, of course, going back and forth. Let's dive into that. But first, word from the sponsor. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. They are hooking you up, the gamer, 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. You'll also get 125% on your second and third deposits with that code. And so you can see here, Colorado's prepping for the Cincinnati game, and it looks like the odds maker likes Colorado, -5.5 right now, and it feels like it's going up. If you want to jump in on that action, you better hurry up and check it out over at BetUS. They are taking care of you. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. 125% on your second and third deposits when you use the promo code YouTube150. They're also giving you back better gambler's insurance. They give you 10% back on your net losses twice a year to keep you in the game. So check them out. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 by using the promo code YouTube150. BetUS, where the game begins. Now I don't need to play the tape. Y'all always say, Jay, why are you talking about Feinbaum? He's this. Blah, blah, blah. Feinbaum is a big name in the game, and he has influence when it comes to what the narrative is and what's being talked about. And week over week, Colorado has proved him wrong. You know, even with 2 losses, they keep proving him wrong. The fight, the grit, the bounce back, they're doing it. And so Stephen A. Smith started the season off talking about that Coach Prime has an opportunity to be Coach of the Year. He has that opportunity. And so when they talked about that, Feinbaum had to agree. He said this, and I'm just going to tell you what he said instead of playing the video. He came out and said, initially, I thought you were crazy. Initially, I didn't see it, but now I do. Colorado is being placed in the right position to go and be successful. Deion Sanders is doing it. Now, he always talks about how much he loves Deion Sanders, but he also criticizes and thinks that they're just Hollywood. They're just entertainment. Look, they're the most entertaining team out there in college football. He said it. He believes it, but not for the way that he thought. He figured it was going to be more drama-filled, and it's not. It's football-filled. I love seeing that with Colorado. And now with the Cincinnati game on the horizon, this is a big test. They pull out this win that helps them pull further forward in the Big 12 championship conversation. And then all I got to do is keep stacking wins all the way to the end of the season. And if they win out, they're in there. There's no way you cannot put Colorado in there if they win out with just 1 loss, because that probably leads them to be one of the only teams with 1 loss, because I think there'll be a little bit of cannibalizing in the Big 12. I don't see anybody going undefeated throughout. And so, schedule-wise, Colorado has it lined up. I love seeing that not only do the Buffs have, got Cincinnati, and when you look through the schedule itself, I think the Texas Tech game is going to be one of the biggest challenges on the road in Lubbock. I don't see that Kansas is going to be that bad on the road. Utah offensive coordinator just bounced. And then Oklahoma State, who's been struggling all season, and they've got the Doak Walker award-winning running back, and they can't figure it out. That's all you really need. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all happy that Feinbaum now on the Coach Prime train, on the Colorado Buffaloes train? Y'all tell me what y'all think. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the team. It's good pub. It's good overall, especially because everyone talks heavily about recruiting. Let's talk about recruiting really quick. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit, up to $2,000, using promo code YouTube150. This weekend, tweet came out, 247. Offensive tackle Cardé Smith. He is an ESPN 4-star top 300 player on their listing. Offensive tackle out of Mobile, Alabama. He's currently committed to USC. 6'6.5", 295 pounds. This is going to be his second visit to Colorado. Now, I've wondered if Cardé is serious about the Buffs, but it looks like he is. He's a part of a star-studded list of players that's going to be pulling up. I'm going to give you that list, but we'll talk about it later in the week because it looks good for what Colorado's got going on here against Cincinnati. But bringing in Cardé shows that the recruiting didn't stop for the Buffs. Sure, the class isn't full yet, but Prime also likes the idea of spending time in the transfer portal because you get portal guys. A lot of those portal guys actually have played college ball and they understand the work that is required to be successful at this level. And it seems like that there is the philosophy around how he's trying to build the team. Young players out of the portal that understand college football but ready for a chance to compete. And then filling it in with young players. Me personally, I think you need some high schoolers but you want the right ones. So I'm intrigued by this approach because I kind of want to see if it's going to work. We are in a new era of college football. I've always been of the belief that you build your team out of recruits. That's your cake, and transfers are the icing or your gap fillers. But Prime may be trying to switch. He's switching the game up, and he may get me to sway. Depending on who you grab, if you grab the right guys with the right attitudes, there's a chance. And Carday, coming in at his size, at 6'6", 295, you can get him up to around a 3-something. And what we're seeing out of Jordan Seaton, I think that's probably why he's like, yeah, I want to see what's going on. Coach Phil Loadhall is killing it with the coaching of these young players and bringing in a bunch. I mean, ratings-wise, the line is actually blocking well on the pass. Not all sacks are on the offensive line. Sometimes the quarterback holds it too long. Sheduer has a tendency to, but he also likes to survey the field and get the best throw. So as long as this line keeps him upright more often than not and let him keep making these throws, Colorado's going to see a lot of success. Now it's all about getting that run game established that they got against Arizona and keeping it going. Let me know what y'all think. We would love to hear from you all. Shout out to BetUS for powering this video. 150% bonus on your first deposit. 125% bonus on your second and third deposits by using promo code YouTube150. We'll have a video talking about the 2016 Buffaloes coming up next. If you're watching this later, you may actually see that video here. If you have it, subscribe, as well as hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of the videos. We will talk soon.